Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we have some news regarding patch 1.1 and a little bit going forward. Now this is something that they didn't give us in advance, so I'm covering this a little bit later, but it's fine. Let's read over it, let's talk about some stuff, and let's just jump right in. So what we are aware is patch 1.1 is going to focus on the variety of fixes, gameplay, balance changes, and adjustments to mechanics that have been at the heart of discussion in the public space. This is their words, not mine, so let's hope that they're actually going to do so because, you know, Creative Assembly. They've included a foreword that goes as follows. For those of you looking for details about the combined map, Immortal Empires, the Blood Pack, or any other DLC you're waiting to see added to the game, I'll note in advance that we won't be covering those subjects in any great depth or detail today. We know that these are important subjects to many of you who've been asking about them. Unfortunately, the timelines of these projects are currently in flux as we reprioritize our work to establish a strong foundation for the game upon which we can build. The game needs to be in a solid place before we consider adding new content and features to the mix, so we're in the process of reviewing the release timing of both Immortal Empires and the Blood Pack. Okay, so they've gotten delayed, we'll talk about that in just a sec. When we know more, we'll take the time to spotlight the new content we have planned at the time. Until then, rest assured that we'll share what we know as soon as we have a more concrete timeline in place. Okay, look. They're delaying Immortal Empires and Blood Pack. We kind of expected that. I don't think they should have mentioned it anyway because at the time, at least as far as I see it, the majority of the player base just want the game to be fixed. We don't care about the other stuff because there's no point having Immortal Empires if the game doesn't work, if nothing's balanced, if there's issues. It's good to know that they do have plans for it, don't get me wrong, but yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the blog, which is focusing around the patch preview itself, which is going to give us all the details of what we should expect in 1.1. Let's hope this is all as intended. The first section focuses around the Realm of Chaos, which goes as follows. The Realm of Chaos has been one of the most prevalent discussion points amongst the community, and we're using this update to implement several bug fixes and gameplay tweaks that can change how it fits into the mechanics of the game. This includes several key changes. The strength of the negative realm traits have been reduced by roughly 50%. Okay, that's a positive change, I must admit, because the negative traits were just too powerful. Demon Legendary Lords will no longer be burdened by negative traits of their respective patron god. The fact that this wasn't in vanilla baffles me because many people were asking about that prior. Traits gained in the Realm of Chaos will now be removed when a Legendary Lord completes the survival battle within that realm. So these are the negative traits, I assume? Yeah, it's not very clear. When a player intercepts an AI Lord at the Forge of Souls, their souls will now be lost, forcing them to restart their collection. This should make it easier to disrupt the Souls race. Okay, this is actually not too bad. That will make the faction take at least 120 turns more, or 160 turns to be able to do it. So yeah, at least it will give you more time to breathe. This is a good thing. The protection building chain now can be used to prevent rifts from spawning in the province in which they are built. Finally, this is a good change. This I am very positive about because at least that means that you can just go around and expand without having to stay in two locations. You don't have to worry too much. This is looking very promising at the very least. The rewards for gaining souls have been improved by providing additional bonuses for a limited time. Was there rewards in vanilla? I don't think there was. Either way, we're getting some sort of reward, so that's actually quite good. These changes are intended to make the Souls race less urgent and give you the chance to approach the battlefield in different ways. We will of course continue to adjust the mechanics in the future, but look forward to seeing how these changes impact your experience as you jump in after 1.1. Okay, this isn't a bad idea. I like these changes so far. It's sounding pretty good. It's sounding very positive. Many of these things were suggested prior to release, I must say, though, because many of these creators, of course, are quite vocal, and they've said it in many streams, videos, I'm assuming feedback too. So hopefully this means that everything will work as intended and nothing else breaks. I am a bit more positive about this. I think this will be a lot better for players if this comes out. The sooner the better, but I guess we'll have to go down the blog. Supply lines, a prevalent issue reported by the community, a fix to address the bug where the upkeep cost of the supply lines mechanic would fail to update after disbanding your armies will be included in update 1.1. Okay, this works out quite well. It's something that I've noticed a lot and it's something that I've complained about heavily, so good to see that there's a fix coming to this at the very least. Infantry responsiveness. Another noteworthy topic is how infantry units turn and respond on the battlefield. While changes have been made that should improve the rate of responsiveness to roughly match that in Total War Warhammer 2, Okay, we will still have to continue improving the AI behavior in combat. We'll have more news about this in future updates that we'll share with you later. Alright, that's not too bad, but I'm not seeing anything regarding pathfinding issues and so on. We're gonna have to wait and see. Faction balance, this is a big one, so we're going to have to divide it into two sections. As mentioned previously, the team will be making various tweaks to the different factions based on your feedback and the win rates of the different factions. There is a fine balance to walk between how strong a faction is perceived versus how they perform on the battlefield, but we hope to learn from both as we buff or reduce a faction or specific units. Does that sound weird for, like, anyone else? Anyways, for perspective, here's a look at the win rates in ranked matchmaking and the multiplayer domination mode. And we get a little bit of a chart here showing their win rates and all that. That's perfectly fine, but let's jump into more details regarding the specifics from quick notes. Here are some quick notes from the balance team as to how they've chosen the initial balance tweaks of the different factions in 1.1. The Ogre Kingdoms in general are overperforming heavily in both ranked matchmaking and tournaments. We are making some significant adjustments to the units based on community feedback and our metrics. Okay, so we always expected them to be a little stronger than the base game races because they're a DLC race, so you have to actually spend some extra money to be able to play them if you've not purchased or pre-ordered, you know? But yes, they are horrendously overpowered in a lot of cases, and they're just focusing here on multiplayer. I'm talking about campaign too, so let's see what happens there. Grand Cafe is currently by far the biggest underperformer in ranked matchmaking and in domination tournaments. We think that Cafe is best when their army is large, such as in land battles, which is why we are increasing the size of all starting armies in domination. We'll be monitoring these changes to see how the meta progresses in the months ahead. Okay, I'm kind of confused here. Isn't this going to be a massive drastic change to domination mode just because of Cafe? The fact is that they designed Cafe to be better with large armies because you have to mix and match because of harmony. I'm a little confused here. I don't play a lot of domination mode because it's really not my type of thing, but you get why I'm a bit concerned, right? While Kizev is slightly underperforming in ranked matchmaking according to our metrics, they seem to be performing adequately in the tournament environment. There are a few units that particularly stand out, and we're looking to make similar tweaks while observing the effects of other changes and bug fixes. Okay, so far so good for Kislev. Now let's look at Nurgle. Nurgle has been doing well in ranked matchmaking. However, we know that they don't do well in the tournament environment. We are also concerned that the slowness of most Nurgle units makes them vulnerable to larger armies with ranged firepower, which can result in heavy losses before the Nurgle units are able to engage in melee combat. Yes, well, that's not the only issue that Nurgle has. Nurgle is slow, that's what was expected, but they have no anti-large, they have a lot of issues when it comes to being outflanked, and it feels like the little units that they do have for flying, like the Rotflies, are way too weak and just get demolished pretty easily. Now let's move on to the next section. In update 1.1, we are fixing several issues with charges, bracing, and impact damage. We feel it's too risky to touch the Sinesh units without having a good understanding of what effects these will have, so we'll keep an eye on things and make adjustments in the future based on feedback. Wait, so Sinesh is not going to get much fixing. Okay, what? Like, Sinesh is really horrible at the moment. If they're going to fix charging, bracing, and impact damage, hopefully it will fix Sinesh, but what? I'm not going to jump the gun just yet. We'll have to wait and see until the patch gets released, but this is kind of concerning, especially if Sinesh is just going to be suffering from this, because, well, yeah, you know, chariots don't work at the moment, and if they're going to fix the chariots, that might help, but we're going to have to wait and see, but I'm not keen on this. We're going to have to wait and see, though. We are currently happy with the state of Khorne, and we'll continue monitoring how they perform in relation to the other balance changes made this month. Our systematic changes should not be shifting the faction much in either direction, but we will watch closely. What do you think? We'll share the exact details once we've locked them in for 1.1, and look forward to hearing what you think once you get your hands on them next month. I mean, so far everything sounds okay, but I don't know. The Sinesh thing kind of worries me. Nurgle, I don't know what they're going to do with Nurgle. The domination mode starting with extra units is going to be a bit strange. We're going to have to wait and see for that. I mean, time will tell, but let's just hope they don't make matters worse. Okay, now we can talk about bug fixes. With every build, we will be looking to fix, test, and package as many bug fixes into the build as possible. Again, working towards the strong baseline for Total War Warhammer 3. Update 1.1 certainly gives us the opportunity to tackle some of the key issues you've helped us identify. If all goes according to plan, i.e. everything passes testing and is confirmed not to have any side effects, here's a taste of some of the key fixes coming your way. Alt-tab crash fix. Okay, so this is coming into a beta in our hands next week. That's pretty cool. But I thought that was fixed in the most recent patch that came out this week. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure that was the main feature of the hotfix patch that came out this week. Well, let's just move on. Gifts of Slaanesh. A conflict between Everlasting Gift Tech and Gift of Slaanesh upgrade will be resolved in the update. Finally, thank you. That was very much of an issue. Prologue sticks after the battle of Fort Devingard, not after 1.1 it won't, okay. Soft lock when ending your turn after losing Yuri, not anymore, also fixed in 1.1. Crash fixes. Several crash fixes have been implemented based on your reports both here and with our support team. This will be an ongoing effort as we work to get everyone in and playing the game. Shadow Shroud. Be'lakor's ability Shadow Shroud is now associated with his unique trait, so he's not really getting anything new, he's just getting something moved. Okay. Corrupted by. Factions will now be able to remove negative corrupted by traits when in a region dominated by their favorite corruption. That's perfect. That's great. That's actually really good. I've got no complaints about that. Achievement issues. Whether unlocking achievements the wrong way, not unlocking them at all, or unlocking duplicate achievements, were implemented fixes for many of the achievements available in the game, and more. Okay, that's fine. This is by no means a complete list, as they say here. There are plenty of behind-the-scenes fixes and other fixes that require testing confirmation before we're comfortable committing to their inclusion in the update. We'll share the full list in Update 1.1 and encourage you to continue consolidating the bugs and other issues you find into the threads here on the forum or contacting our support team if you're experiencing technical issues. Okay, that's so far so good. I'm happy with what is going on. Okay, we've got some really interesting news here. While the assembly kit is still in the works as we prioritize our fixes to the core game, we're excited to share that we'll be aiming to release the mod manager and enable workshop support alongside Update 1.1. We plan to continue expanding the toolset and options at your disposal in the months and years to come, but we hope this will kickstart the modding efforts of the community as we continue to work on official updates to the game. Okay, first up, I don't know if you don't know Creative Assembly, but modders have already been doing their fixes with community mods and so on. And while some of them have been unstable, they have fixed a lot of core issues with the game at the moment, like for example having a toggle and so on, which you guys don't want to release for some reason. Who knows? But either way, this is great news. Finally, modders will be able to have a workshop to be able to upload their stuff on. Things will get a little bit more stable. This is fantastic news. I'm so happy. I was worried that we were going to have to wait a lot longer to be able to get this, as normally that type of stuff comes out with a DLC. And since we know that the Blood Pack DLC isn't coming out anytime soon, well, yeah, this is great news. This puts my mind at rest. I'm really happy about this. This is another interesting section beyond 1.1. What comes after Update 1.1? Well, this is only the beginning. As we've mentioned throughout our posts, the goal at this very moment is to iron out the technical wrinkles, improve the stability and performance of the game, and adjust the balance and gameplay based on ongoing commentary from the community. This is all with a very specific goal of establishing a strong baseline for Total War Warhammer 3, one that supports the ongoing growth of the game with new content, new factions, and new modes, for you all to explore. I'm not sure what they mean by that. New modes is a bit strange. Like Warhammer 2, our plan is to eventually pair large content drops with regular game updates, bug fixes, balance changes and the sort. However, we are also looking to raise our game above Warhammer 2 by introducing major patch updates between our key DLC releases, allowing us to address bugs, balance concerns, and other adjustments on a quicker cadence than previous games. All of this is aimed at establishing a more reliable cadence of releases once we've established a strong foundation for the game and its future. That's about time. I'm sorry, but this has been something that has been bothering me since Warhammer 2. DLCs tend to be quite far apart, and there's no fixes. It becomes a bit of an issue. Then they're just stuck with these bugs for another 4, 5, 6 months. So if this is going to actually happen, this is a good thing. Now, they all say aimed. I need them to confirm. I'm not trying to sound antagonistic here, but you know this has been an issue. You guys listening to this video know it's been an issue. So I need them to just properly confirm, because aiming means nothing. Aiming to do something is like I'm aiming to stop smoking. Yes, it's going to take a while and all that type of stuff, but you know, or I'm aiming to lose some weight, or I'm aiming to get healthier. There is a potential for it to fail, you know? That's what kind of concerns me. I just want them to confirm that that's the plan. Okay, so the closing thoughts is just thanking the community and all that. You can see that on screen right now. I think it's a positive thing, but there are some issues with these patch notes so far. There should really be a bit more, I'd say, because a lot of stuff has been reported as time has progressed. I mean, no mention of the gate bug or tower issues and all that. Hopefully that's getting addressed. Hopefully that's being looked at and tested. That's my main concern. The rift change itself is going to be quite good, and even I imagine that it's going to be a bit better to play those campaigns. At least I very much hope so. If we ever get a test build, I'll be able to check it out for myself, but I really much doubt it. Look, they're listening, and mod support is coming. Mod support is a good thing. Modders will be able to implement their own balancing through bug fix mods and so on, which should hopefully tide us over until patches come out and so on. I know a lot of people don't like mods, and that's fair, but I see mods as a way to expand on the game, get some new factions, get some new flavor, and not only that, but, you know, just a few fixes here and there. Sometimes is a good thing. I'm just really happy about that. If we're getting this soon, which, did they give a release date? I don't think they did, but they did say early April, the last blog post. That's not too far away, considering that at the time of releasing this video, it's the 18th of March. So, hey, let's just hope things get better. Who knows, maybe they'll release it sooner. You never know, I guess. But what do you guys think about this? There's some things that do concern me, but overall, I think it's a good thing. I think there's some good stuff there. I just really want the game to do well, and yeah, hopefully this fixes this. Hopefully this fixes a lot of the core issues of the game. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. Also, there's some pretty cool artwork that you might have seen in the background. It looks cool. I wonder what this is, if it's something that just never got released. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.